Hello there, lovely people. Can you see me? Hello? I don't seem to be able to make my picture any bigger. Oh, this is so frustrating. I don't know if anybody's there. I can't. Right, make it bigger that way. Hello, is there anybody there? I'm so sorry, I'm trying to make my screen bigger. Is anybody actually watching? I'm very sorry. Hi, Dark Slayer. Hi, Brian. Hi. I've got a very tiny screen. Trying to make it bigger. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing this live video at the minute, hi, Operation Popeye, is because I've, recently on my live links, on my videos, I've had people that have come on to me and busy telling me that I need to be looking at science. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for letting me know. The reason why I'm making this live is because on my videos lately, I've had people telling me that I need to be looking at the science, And I'm sorry, mate, but I'm Mandela Effected, so you can stick your science where the sun don't shine, Oh dear, I'm so very sorry. Thank you so much, Brian. Yeah, I'm really, really a technophobe, you know that. I'm a massive technophobe and I'm not very good with all this stuff, so thank you for bearing with me, people. I really appreciate it. Because, I need to talk to you in real time. And, recently because of my recent Flat Earth videos, I've had people, get really, again, with the clipboard and the Ranorak, giving it large about the science, globe science, It's like, hello, science? What science? What science? This is what gets to me, the Mandela Effect, the Flat Earth. All they can say to you is, look at the science, look at the science, look at the science. And I'm sorry, but can your science explain a fluid reality? Can it? Can it? No, it can't. And if there is a science that can explain it, none of those arseholes out there can explain it to us, can they? This is what, it suddenly got to me. It suddenly got to me, a bit like my awakening, my sudden realisation that, evolution doesn't exist really, because I'm Mandela affected and I'm seeing changes of the geography in front of my eyes. And you're right, water doesn't bend. And the thing is that when you see these sort of things, it's my own observation, and there I am travelling through a Mandela life, where this crazy Mandela life. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to make my screen bigger. It's tiny. This crazy trip of a Mandela life, where science and everything that we truly held firm in our hearts just isn't true anymore. Science especially. Science used to be a passion of mine. So for me to have people say to me, look at the science, and, push comes to shove, there is no science. Not that you understand anyway. Not that the people that are telling me to look at science understand. They don't understand any of it. It doesn't exist in the manner that they're speaking about. There is absolutely no science in the manner that these people are busy. Look at the science, look at the science. I mean, we're getting it everywhere. It's not just people on here. All over the place we've got, listen to the scientists, listen to the scientists. The scientists know this. And I have never met such a closed-minded bunch of arseholes in my life. They're all so blinkered. Scientists are so blinkered. I mean, you've got people like, well, obviously, Brian Cox. He used to be a massive hero of mine. I loved him. I absolutely bloody loved him. And now I can't bear to look at him. I can't bear to look at him because, you know, what gets to me, what upsets me is that these people are supposed to be scientific minds. They're supposed to be inquiring about what's really going on. What does life mean? And yet they're being shown it directly in the face by people saying reality is changing. And they're still stuck to their science says this, science says this. And the thing is with Brian Cox as well that gets to me is that he actually, I watched because those of you that have seen me before, Brian sucks Cox. not Brian Staveley. Although, you know, it's been questioned before. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Stop it, Brian, please. So, yeah, he's an arsehole. He's an absolute arsehole, I've come to discover, and he's pretty typical of your scientists, your run-of-the-mill scientists. Because even though he was, he once explained on a Royal Institute Christmas lecture that every atom affects every other atom in the universe. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you think they know everything and no interaction. Why? Who does that? Show me Sasquatch. Who's that? Who does that? You loved studying all this stuff until you tried to join in, but every chat are arseholes who think they know everything with no interaction. Right, well, I'm here, interact. Interact with me, go on. I've got no problem, that's what I do this for. That's what I want a live link for, to interact. But believe me, if you're just going to come out with absolute bollocks, then I'm not going to listen to you, quite frankly, because, one, I'm Mandela Effected. What do you mean, what happened? I'm sorry, Operation Popeye, I don't know what you mean, what happened. You got me lost there. But you're trying to talk about science in a old world view, and we're not in an old world, we're in a new world. We're in a new world where the top of Scotland's come off. We're in a new world where South America's over here, where the Panama Canal now runs north to south instead of east to west. You know, Ecuador is now on a... Oh, hi, show me Sasquatch. I'm very pleased to have you here. And sorry, Operation Popeye. It's my, as I explained before, it's my terrible connection round here. I think they're trying to get us to beg for 5G, to be honest. That seems to be what they're doing. Oh, I'm glad you got to see it all right then. That's fantastic. So when these people are being, you know, they're coming out with, you know, you need to be looking at the science of these things. I mean, do you think I didn't know the science of those things? Do you know? Do you think I didn't already know the science behind everything that they're talking about? I did. But what they don't realise is that science is utterly bollocks, because we're living in a fluid reality that science cannot explain, even though, like I said, it's the experts, not the arseholes on here that come telling us to understand science. My God, I'm 55. Science has been a passion of mine since at least 30 years. I actually learned about science and things for my own personal benefit. You know, not at school. I learned it for my own personal benefit and because I like learning. So everything that I learned before has no meaning now. We're not in the same reality. No, I'm here. No, show me Sasquatch. I'm here to talk to you. That's exactly what I do. I'm doing a live for. I want to talk in real time to people. You know, so... Oh, I'm glad you're back with me, Operation Popeye, and thank you for being here. Really, thank you. Because, I mean, like, what do you guys think about the whole science? You've got to look at science explanation, because if you're actually Mandela affected, you'll know that it's, you know, there's nothing real about science anymore. And it's quite a shock when you realise that. And although I was, like, laughing at science, it was only really today that it hit me, a bit like the evolution thing when I had the evolution epiphany. But science really has no bearing at all anymore on anything. on anything. It means nothing anymore. Science fiction, absolutely. Absolutely science fiction. Well, apart from the fact that I feel like I'm living in a science fiction movie anyway, but then science fiction is a passion of mine too. So, and also, actually, what I wanted to say, I think I've been wanting to talk, this is a bit off from what I was going to say anyway, but you've made me think about it. Q. I don't really believe in the Q situation, but because I talked about science fiction, it triggered my memory, and I was thinking that in Star Trek The Next Generation, Q was like an omnipotent being that was a bit like God, but that used to play around with people. Do you know, it used to play around with the cast and mess around with their minds, and it was all about deception. And I put those two things together. Does that make any sense to you guys? Can you understand where I'm seeing? Yeah, every day a new change in all matters. You're absolutely right. Show me Sasquatch. You're absolutely right. There's never a day goes by. I was in town earlier on. I went to the shop, and the shop's now got different. They've gone back to the way it was. We can now just walk to the counter. And 2 days ago we couldn't, but they said it was as of last Monday that we've been able to do that. So, no, I can't even go and I don't watch TV either. Oh, I know. Yeah, the thing is that um, the thing that gets to me about those people that waffle on about you've got to look at the science is that, you know, they don't even know the science properly themselves, the majority of them. They haven't looked into these things. This is what gets to me. They really think that we haven't looked at anything, we haven't bothered with anything, we don't know anything. You know, do you think we haven't researched, looked at every possible thing we can possibly think of to get information and understanding? We have. And then when we find, you know, then we find, yeah, and well, yeah, we can. And you know what, Brian? It felt fucking weird. It did. It felt really bizarre. Just walking to the aisle, you know, to the checkout. No big queue. No person telling us where to go. No mix-up and cock-up. It was bizarre. And I don't know what this Prel, I'm going to call you Prel because you're just far too complicated for me to get my tongue round. And especially as it's 3:42 in the morning here. So, hi Ashley, I'm Ashley. You are loyalty makes you family. Hello, darling, hello. So, yeah, science. It's a load of bollocks. It's an absolute load of bollocks. And once more, it's the people that we expect to be really excited about what's happening with the Mandela Effect who are actually the most close-minded to it. And, so very, very frustrating. We could have been abducted into a, yeah. Yes, I know Operation Pop. I have seen that. Yeah, I'm glad. Thanks, Prel. There's no way I can get my tongue round all that. Oh, no, I'm not going any further. I was about to say something I shouldn't. Oh, I'm glad I held back there. So, yeah, it's, Nikola Tesla. To be fair, I think Nikola Tesla is a Mandela Effect. Because although I'd heard about him about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and then a couple of years after people started talking about Tesla, and I'm like, oh, you've never heard of Tesla? Oh, I didn't know that. Hardly anybody knew about Tesla. But in my mind, I'd kind of always known about him, but that ain't true. I know I haven't always known about him. He's a Mandela Effect for me. He's a blended reality, not just a, you know, I don't know what this is, Prel. I don't know. The thing is that, you know, yeah, he did. In fact, our whole lives are based around Tesla, thank God. You know, they are. But to me, he's a blended reality situation, I think. I think he's an ME. You know, maybe, yeah, maybe he was Mandela too. And, you know, that makes me laugh because I know that it amuses people the way I say Mandela. The Mandela Effect. I know it amuses you guys. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's really hard. I'm going to just call you loyalty for now. Loyalty, that's really hard. I know I think we're all in the same dilemma. We're feeling that separate from the actual world that we're living in, that it's not like we're actually living anymore, is it anyway? You know what? 22nd of February 2016 was the day that I realised that my face had changed, Prel. Because that was my daughter's birthday. Yeah, and I realised my face had changed this bit. You know, the cheekbones, my face had got much wider. So that's really... Yeah, I remember Doris Day dying years ago as well. Sasquatchy person. And it is nice to have you here. So yeah, the science situation is something that... it's quite freaky. That freaks me out because I don't have... Science was my basis for everything. It was, and I'm sure it was for a lot of you people. And, I mean, not having science to be passionate about, I'm finding difficult anyway, personally, because smooth, good evening. So, when they're busy, you see, the only answer I've actually got to anybody that says to me, you know, like in a smart-ass way about looking at the science, all I can say is, well, I'm reality, you know, I'm Mandela affected by reality sliding, and, you know, it's like, ooh, is he? That's quite weird. Prowl, that's quite weird. I'll have to have a look into that one. But I haven't got an answer for them anymore, and I used to have an answer. I used to have a scientific answer. Do you know what I mean? Now I haven't. And especially on things like flat Earth. I came to a flat Earth because of the Mandela Effect. And that doesn't involve science. So I didn't come to the Mandela Effect, to the flat Earth conclusion because of what anybody else said, by looking at anybody else's videos, by looking at the science of it, because I didn't. What I did was an awful lot of observation. And then it came to me that how many times I'd been up high and been able to see whales, and yet you're not supposed to be able to see that far. The curve would be able to, you wouldn't be able to, you shouldn't be able to see it from where I live. So I don't believe in science anymore. Well, yeah, they are agnostic or atheists, although there are scientists that are religious, that do have a religious feeling, but most of them don't. No, and that's fine, Prel. I'm not expecting you to see it. I'm not asking anybody to see it. I'm not trying to convince anybody to convert anybody. I just talk about, you know, my channel is about my experiences going through the Mandela Effect and the weird things that happened to me. And Flat Earth was one of those weird things that happened to me. I didn't want to be a Flat Earther. I don't think anybody wants to be a Flat Earther. You know, and it really doesn't matter what you call me for it. I don't give a shit. You know, not you personally, Prel, obviously, you know. But, hi, Dominic Frost, Mr. Frosty, hello. Hello. Hope you get here soon. We need you to get here soon. We've got a wedding to look forward to. Or we might have a couple of weddings to look forward to, but we don't know yet. So I'm finding the whole situation really quite, yeah, creation and Luciferian agenda, yeah, it's a definite Luciferian agenda. But ultimately, we know that, you know, that God wins ultimately. Our Creator wins. Yes, please, show me that, please, Smooth. Appreciate that. Very much so. Anything that anybody can ever show me, I'm very grateful for. I need input. But we haven't got the things that we normally fall back on to back us up, because there is no science anymore. There is no science anymore. Yeah, and like we learned about the mud flood because of the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect is actually giving us extra information about things that, well, I was passionate about before. Since the Mandela Effect, new discoveries that have, like, not new discoveries, you know what I mean? It's like unbelievable things that they've suddenly discovered. How they've missed them before is beyond me, do you know what I mean? Like the Eye of the Sahara. How the fuck did they not see that before? You know what I mean? But it's, yes, thank you, Smooth, very much. Yeah, it's called sea level, you're right. And yeah, eyes to see are few and far between, and that's another point. I actually wanted to make a video about that. It made me think earlier on, are only certain people supposed to see? Because I made a video about the WO 2020 060606 A1, aka 666 vaccine, and the patent has changed. It doesn't say it's an injectable vaccine driven system anymore, and instead, where it used to say there'd have to be some test to prove that you're a human being and not a dog, for example, I quote, it now says that you'll have to make sure that you're a human by capture. So now if we're trying to alert people not to have this vaccine, this Bill Gates Google vaccine, because it's going to deliver a chip to your hand, they're not going to believe it anymore because that information isn't there anymore. Now, I don't think they've changed the wording. Right. Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? Crunchy Bee, that is a brilliant question. That is a brilliant question. And I now need to know the answer. Does anybody else out there know? Have a look at at Crunchy Bee, please. Have a look at the question there, because I don't know if the world's flat, why are raindrops round? What a brilliant question. Ooh. Ooh, right. Thank you, Smooth. I need to have a look at that, because I've heard things about it, but I don't know enough. So I'm going to have to have a look at that. Well, Prel, everybody's got an opinion. Not opinion. All we're trying to do is work out what the frig's going on. And we've all got our own different ideas of what the theory is. When I first started, I really thought it was D-Wave computers and CERN. But now I swing towards it being supernatural. And the Hopi prophecy, the blue and red Kachina Hopi prophecy, is the only prophecy, the only thing that states exactly about reality changing. It's the only thing that that we're actually going through. Oh, at the moment I can't keep up with your comments. I can't keep up with your comments. No, I don't think they were actually trying to compare a raindrop with the shape of the earth. They were just questioning why it happens. That was the point. Are you? Are you Sasquatch? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but I appreciate any native. I really do. And that sounds like a right dick thing to say, but I properly do. I properly do. In fact, when I was a small child and I used to watch cowboy and Indian films, I think it was probably from my mum, because my mum used to say that she used to cry as a child herself about the Indian people, because that's what we called them back then. We called Native American Indians Indians. Well, we call them Indians, Native. See, we're not even sure what to call them anymore. Indigenous, Native. Either way, robbed. That's what it is. No, I don't rule out D-Wave as being part of it either, because it's satanic. So it could very well be being used. And I'm quite sure that, with the Ozarks, right? Thank you, I do know about them. Yeah, D-Wave, I do think it's got something to do with it. I think it might have something to do with it, because never before in time have we had the technology to be able to do any of the things that we're doing, also fitting in with the Bible and their end time prophecy. And obviously the mark of the beast, 666, getting back to when we try and explain to people about not having this vaccine because it's the mark of the beast and they're going to put this chip in you. There is absolutely nothing. Yes, absolutely, Sasquatch, absolutely. I agree 100%. We are all family, and my father is above. and my mother is the earth that I stand on. Apart from my mummy. Apart from my beautiful mum who's no longer here. So, yes, I noticed that as well, loyalty, because I was looking it up not long ago, and it said at that point it was 777.777, repeating numbers. Right, Operation Popeye, coronavirus equals 155. Can you explain that, please? Because I'm really shit at numerology and gematria. Is it gematria? I'm really shit at that stuff. It was something that never interested me, so I don't know anything about it. And yet I'm having numbers thrown at me all the time. Oh, you're right. I've seen that, Elizabeth. You're right. It does. It does. Very much so. Why is... Right, Prel. I personally think that suicide is wrong because... Well, now because of Mandela Effected, it's because I do believe that I do believe it's like it's stated in the Bible, that God created us to live this life. It's a gift. It's supposed to be a gift. Life, the experience of living, is supposed to be a gift from God. I personally believe that everybody has got it in us. Operation Popeye, you called it Johns Hopkins. Have you had an uptake? Have you had that download? It's John Hopkins. Well, maybe it has always been Johns Hopkins to you, because I understand that is the actual. Yeah, well, I think we're all on the Orion spur, love. Loyalty, I think we're all on the Orion spur. Right. Well, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with what you're saying. No, oh yeah, well that's it for me. I think God gave us life, and that bit of life is a bit of him. I think that spark, that thing is a bit of him. And I think that we were placed here to experience as a gift. Yeah, but isn't Cygnus Orion the same as Orion? You see, I no longer know. I've got no idea anymore. I'm an original Orion Earther. This isn't my original Orion Earth on the original Orion arm. It's not. But no, I need to now know. Oh, thank you very much, Smooth. I appreciate that. Oh, we've very much moved again, Dominic, yeah. And it is a temporary meat suit. You see, yeah, yes, Operation Popeye, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But it's changed. I saved it. It's changed. I watched, Tommy Tell the Truth sent me a video of a man showing you on the screen, and that has changed. So we're not... I think that's been Mandelaed. I don't think that the government... I don't think the Mandela thief has come along and psyoped it and put a different thing out and only... I think it's been Mandela affected because it's people... We were showing people. And I think the Mandela effect is stopping anything of any importance. It's changing so many facts. So many factual things are being changed at the moment. For instance, what's he called? Mark Zuckerberg, that's what he's fucking called. Mark Zuckerberg. He was in Congress last October, where a congressman, I can't remember his name right now, was questioning him about censoring anti-vaxxers on Facebook. And in it, and I even read the transcript of the video, actually read the transcript of the video before I saw the video, and it said they'd spent $8 billion in compensation. Now it says 4. Now it says 4. So the Mandela effect is changing all the things that we're trying to explain to people. It's kind of as... So it made me wonder, is it only for us to see? Are we not supposed to be sharing it? Or is it because we've seen it that whatever it is that's in control, well, Lucifer, I believe, it's satanic. Has it been changed because of that? In a similar way to, like Brian Staveley says all the time, Dose of Reality, that, oh God, what does he say all the time? I forgot. What was the saying? What was the saying? No, oh, I forgot what I was saying entirely. But it is 4 o'clock in the morning. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. So, oh dear, I lost the plot there. I'm very sorry. I can't remember at all what I was saying. Yeah, that's it. None of us really know. None of us really know. And we all try. We all try and find out what it is. It's talking to each other. Yeah, we are the best. We are the best. You see, I found most of you people because of Brian. I'll be honest, I did. I'm really glad of that. So, yeah, it's Madam X, my darling, hello. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely coming. We're being shifted every day to a worse and worse place. I mean, it's getting more and more satanic every day. Oh, that's reminded me, yeah. Like, it's getting more and more satanic every day. And that's what Brian was busy saying, really. That things, the Mandela Effect, takes the piss out of us by inserting things that make what we've seen and said look like we're talking bollocks and we're mad cases. And I think that it's doing the same thing with anything truthful and factual about this COVID situation. No, in my old world, there never was an Orion spur. It was just the Orion arm, and I lived on it. Smooth. That's where I... No, sorry, Perel. That's where I come from, the original Orion arm. There was no spur. It was just an arm. Very similar to your Sagittarius, to be fair, but on the opposite side. It's that kind of thing that, you know... Oh, have you still got that? Thanks, Smooth. I'll have a look at it then. Thank you. I'll have a look at it after this. You see, and again, thank you so much for being here, because I want to talk to you in real time so we can talk about the things that are on your mind, not just the things that are on mine. Not just the things that are on mine. But also, I mean, like I said just there, you know, it seems as if the Mandela Effect it's done it with so many different things where, for instance, Ed McMahon, there, it's like it trolled itself. It's like the Mandela Effect trolls itself. It changes things so that what you've said 1 minute makes you look like a dick the next. And that's very, very, very... yeah, I know, Elizabeth, and it's really nice to meet you. And that's what really, you know, that also made me laugh. That when I first... Oh, well, that's Smooth. That's really brilliant. I'm glad that you're in, you know, that you're interested in that, because I can then come to you with anything I'm questioning. Anything I'm questioning. Oh, it very much is full of occultism. I think the whole planet's been based on it, to be fair. You see, you had 9 billion population. We had, originally I had 7.5 billion on my original Orion. Hey, Randy Jackson, younger than Michael. Did you see at some point there were 6 Jacksons? There was the Jackson 5, it was called, but there were 6 of them on the cover. The Mandela Effect is fucked. It truly is fucked. And, well, thanks, Smooth, because I'm going to be coming to you. Do you know what? I actually, yeah. You know, because that signal came, well, it actually said it came, it said it came pointed to Sagittarius, the actual star in the sky. In fact, I'll ask you guys that. If you were from Sagittarius, was the main star system Sagittarius that you could see in the sky? Because where I was on the Orion arm, it was always Orion. Did you see Sagittarius more? Something I've never really thought of, but I just have now. Yeah, the 6 Jacksons, what the hell. So it's all... See, every damn thing is connected. Every single thing is connected. There isn't anything that isn't anymore. I mean, I can't even go out to buy my cat some cat food without reality changing. I can't walk into one shop and come out without the clock having changed. You know, literally changed. 3 o'clock, I went in, it said 3 o'clock. It wasn't 3 o'clock, but that's what the clock said. It said 3 o'clock. I came back out and it said 12:30. We can't. So, Crunchy Bee, anybody that was on the Sagittarius arm, when you looked into the sky, were you looking at Sagittarius, the constellation? Like here on Orion, I was looking, the main star system was Orion. Was it Sagittarius for you on the Sagittarius arm? Yeah, you're right. Really? Orion's belt was very small. Oh, that's really mad because Orion's belt... See, I lived in Germany because my dad was in the army. And I remember looking at Orion's belt because Orion's belt was something that I could see from my balcony at my, in my parents' house. Then I went to boarding school and I could see it over the tennis courts at boarding school. So when I looked at Orion's belt being huge in the sky, I could think about, like, I knew my mum and dad could look up at the same thing. And I also did it with a boyfriend, my first boyfriend, well, not my first boyfriend, but the one I got engaged to. I didn't marry him, that's another story. But he moved from my hometown in the northwest of England down to south to London, in Whitechapel, actually. He was in the London hospital in Whitechapel, which is where the bones of the Elephant Man are kept. I've seen them. Very sad. And while I was up north and he was down south, we'd both look at Orion's belt and know that we were somehow connected. So for me, the Big Dipper is in the completely wrong place and in the completely wrong angle for this time of year, Crunchy Bee, for me. And also, in my reality, the North Pole star, could be found by looking at the end of the handle, and you follow it up to the closest star. It was a tiny, insignificant, very faint star, was the North Star. Now it's this big glowing thing. I made a... The real truth about Jesus, Perel, right, I'm glad you've asked that, because I didn't know. I was a born-again Christian in my teens, got very, very, totally upset by the whole scenario. Totally. Oh, my cat's just breaking in. Oh, hello. My cat's just breaking in. Finnegan, calm down. Oh, he's coming past me. Right, yeah.